of having a relationship first and foremost above having a romantic relationship or a physical relationship or a sexual relationship. Which way do I need to point this thing for it to work? Uh-huh. Oh, there we go. Oh, now we jumped two. All right. Okay, so the question I want you to ask yourself and I want us to talk about and think about is, in fact, I'm wondering if I could actually get some listener kind of input. I bet I could. Some of you love to talk. Some of you came this morning and said, man, I hope he calls on me and I can talk. So somebody talk about why is it so important to have a friendship as opposed to just a romantic relationship? Why is that so important? Somebody. It's got to be a mic thing. I have no idea what she just said. I heard this holler. Yeah, all right, good. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you. Where did that come from? Ashley. Loud. Say it loud, and then I'll repeat it in the mic. Oh, it builds a foundation. Oh, we don't need that. We talked about foundation yesterday. Tim Myers talked about foundation, right? So if you have this foundation on sex, what happens to the relationship? I mean, there's bells and whistles and excitement. It's exciting, but it's not necessarily lasting. It's almost as though we know this innately. Do y'all know that Britney Spears, do y'all remember when Britney Spears started getting big? Do you know what she said? That she was going to wait until she got married. I am going to remain a virgin until I get married. Britney Spears. Like, what happened to that, right? So my point is it's like this thing across culture that somehow that's supposed to be acceptable or this prize to be attained or this thing to shoot for, and yet we see people fail miserably in that realm. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to talk a little bit about why. Ask yourself, which do you lean towards in a relationship? Do you tend to find yourself becoming very romantically involved, very physically involved, whether you're having sex or not? And I'm not, by the way, I am not naive. Oh, my goodness, naivete died a long time ago in my life. You know, people are having sex here? No. Yeah, they are. You know, you guys are big boys and girls. What I want to do is challenge you to think like young men and women. What I want to do is give you information. You make your decisions. You're going to have sex. You're going to do drugs. You're going to do whatever you're going to do. And I'm going to go to bed tonight and sleep well. I ain't worried about it. I care. I love you. I want you to make wise choices. But I get it that you're going to choose whatever you're going to choose. And I'm going to be very at peace with those around me making good choices and sometimes making poor choices. I've made plenty of poor choices my own self in my life. So what do you lean towards? I tell you what, it's a lot easier. Dude, relationships are messy. Dr. Logue talked to us about sexual addiction and masturbation. You know what? Sexual addiction and masturbation is one of the easiest ways to get your sexual needs fulfilled, but it doesn't really fulfill. Wait, but that's an oxymoron. That's right, because it doesn't really fulfill. It's a lie of Satan that will fulfill. But it's easy. It's a picture, right? She ain't going to talk back to you. He ain't going to talk back to you, right? There's no interaction. There's no difficulty. There's no challenge. Listen, you get into a relationship and you start having some conflict and you start having some issues and you start having some challenges. If you care about this person and you value relationships and it's this hard work, man. Yeah, well, it'll get easier when I get married. Any married folks in there? Yeah, no. Now, okay, let me back up a minute because it's like, dude, you're so negative on marriage. No, marriage is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But there is this realisticness that I try to communicate to young men and women because it's easy for us to get in this mindset that it's just, whoa, it's just bliss and wonderful and we can have sex anytime we want. Yeah, does that sound good to anybody? You're all liars. Man, come on, right? I mean, it's awesome, right? You know, we're just going to love each other. We're never going to argue. Oh, yeah, no. My wife and I nearly killed each other our first year of marriage. Oh, my goodness. We nearly killed each other. That's not everybody's story, but that was our story. But we remained and we worked through it and we worked it out. So it's easier. It's easier to just get physical with somebody, get all excited. Ooh, what are we going to do tonight? Oh, gee, well, let's go down to the lake. So I wonder why we're suggesting let's go down to the lake, right? Because we're going to go there and make out. Okay. How about let's do something where we actually talk? How about let's do something where we actually interact, where we actually have a relationship? See, I am absolutely convinced that every single one of you desire that at some level. Now, I mean, I get it. You desire the other too, right? But we're going to talk a little bit about that battle between walking in the flesh and walking in the Spirit. 1 Corinthians 7:9 tells us, but if they cannot, talking about young couples, right? If you can't control yourself, I could say that so many other ways, but I'd probably get myself in trouble. If you if you cannot exercise, then go ahead and get married, right? I tried this on my parents. They blew me off. Like, okay, we need to hurry and get married because, like, if we wait much longer, we ain't working. Like, we're going to end up having sex before we get married. I was a virgin when I got married. Hallelujah. I've had sex with one woman in my entire life, and that is my wife. I am very, very proud to say that. But I'm telling you, thank you. And I'm not looking for applause, but I'm telling you, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. It was very difficult. My wife and I used to go, this is really funny. We used to go on kissing fasts. I know, what's a kissing fast? Well, you just don't kiss, right? But we discovered there's all kinds of other ways you can get in trouble even if you don't kiss, right? Come on, that was funny. That was funnier than kissing fast. I'm telling you, man, but we made it. It was like, whoo, we did move the date from summer to, I got married December of 86, December the 27th. I know you're all like, the date. Yeah, I know. December 27th, 1986, 28 years ago. And yes, we made it. But it was challenging. Now, Tim Myers yesterday, Dr. Myers was talking about this a little bit and touched on it. He said, if you don't have that thing for each other, he said, very bluntly and very point blank, and I was back to going, yeah, don't get married. Like, you should be wanting each other so bad it's driving you crazy. Your knuckles are nubs because you're biting your fingers to death because, oh, I want her, I want him. Sexually, physically, yes. Guys, God is not surprised by that. God made us that way. He created it. Adam and Eve, dude, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can you think about this? No sin, no physical hindrances at all. No clothes either. No, just thought I'd throw that in, right? The obvious, right? No sin, no like disagreements or arguments or issues or, oh, she's, thinking this or he's thinking that or none of that going on, none whatsoever. Physically fit beyond anything you can imagine. Healthy, strong, incredibly creative. Dude, can we talk? Can you imagine what Adam and Eve's sex life was like before? Well, you talk about, wow, rock the world, shake the earth, thunder, orgasms, and sexual experience between Adam and Eve before the fall. I'm dead serious. And we as human beings, as fallen nature, it's like we're working towards that and working for that, trying to get back to that this whole time. And God's going, henceforth, all of the sexual perversion. And God's going, there's only one way. It's through marriage. You know that the people who have sex the most frequently and the people who have the best sex, the most satisfying sex, are, as science says in the research, monogamous couples. What does that mean? Mono, one person with one person having a sexual relationship. Where do you find that? Usually in marriage, most of the time, right? It's kind of how that works out. So married couples, you see the wild party guy that's going out, yeah, I had sex with 5 women this weekend. Yeah, you the man. It's like, dude, seriously? Like, no. I mean, there's just, And first of all, the reality is over a chunk of time, the married couple is having more sex more frequently and more satisfaction. By the way, there's something about the longevity of being together. You get to know each other. You know what each other want. You know what he and she likes. You know what he and she wants, and you know what he and she doesn't like. And yes, I'm talking about sexually, but other ways certainly as well. Cohabitation, and the reason I bring cohabitation in there is I'm kind of doing this, we'll lay out a little bit about, so what's the problem? Well, the problem is, and I heard someone naively say to one time, and you may have said this before, and so if so, just put on your sense of humor. I'm going to make fun of you for just a second, and I'm sorry, but don't take it personal because I don't know who you are. Well, cohabitation is bad because the people will be tempted to have sex, and they might fall and have sex. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Are you kidding? Yes, they're going to have sex. Hello, that's sex before they cohabitate. That's why they're cohabitating. So wrong, just missed it. Like, sorry, no, that's just the wrong deal. So playing house without the commitment, one of the things that we know is these relationships don't last very long. And this is from a study. This NSFG is part of the CDC, was kind of in cohort with the CDC as they did this. 48% in the study out of the 2,300 and whatever it was, women and